My wife smiled as my best friend touched her on a camping trip. Then I found out they had been exchanging flirty messages for 8 months. I hit my wife's lover. Both of them lost their reputation and were shunned by everyone. My wife, 30 years old, and I, 32, have just returned from a long camping weekend with two other couples, friends we have known for years. We had a great time, but something happened the morning we were leaving that I cannot get out of my head. We were all packing to go home. I was loading the car when I looked up and saw my wife and my friend at the campsite, a few meters away. She bent down to pick something up, and, in that instant, I saw him reach out and squeeze her hip, sliding his hand towards her butt. My wife quickly pushed his hand away, but she did not seem upset. She smiled at him almost playfully. It all happened very quickly, maybe 1 or 2 seconds, but it felt like I had been punched in the stomach. I looked around, but no one else seemed to have seen it. His wife was busy packing their car, and the other couple was further away, talking about the trip back. The way home was silent. My wife tried to start a conversation, but I could not concentrate. My mind kept replaying that scene. When she asked me why I was so quiet, I lied and told her I was thinking about work. The truth is that I was in shock. I did not want to mention it. If I did, maybe she would tell me I was imagining things, that it was ridiculous. The rest of the day, I felt as if I was on autopilot. I barely slept last night, and today I cannot concentrate on work. My mind does not stop, questioning every detail. Apart from what I saw, the rest of the trip was great and nothing seemed out of place. A part of me wonders if I misinterpreted the whole situation. But the expression on her face, that smile, was too friendly, too casual for something that clearly crossed a line. I love my wife with all my heart. We have been together since the first year of university, and I never had reasons to doubt her. She is my best friend. But now, for the first time, I feel a knot in my stomach that I cannot undo. I have never been the spying type. I always trusted her completely, but now I am sitting here wondering if I should check her phone. It is password protected, so even if I wanted to, I do not know how to do it without her finding out. This is consuming me, and I know I have to do something about it. Even if I wanted to check her phone, how would I do it if it has a password? Update 1. In short, I discovered last week that my wife, to whom I have been married for 4 years and together for a total of 12, is cheating on me with my friend. Although the way I found out was a coincidence, then I found all the necessary evidence to know for sure that she is cheating on me. I have not confronted her yet. They are in constant contact and send messages, even explicit content. I am not angry yet. It hurts me deeply, but mostly I feel numb. When my parents died a few years ago, I felt something similar while trying to process the grief. So I know that the emotions will arrive with full force soon. In the meantime, I am following the advice to prepare myself, find a lawyer, and make sure I have everything ready before confronting her. My mind is thinking and planning, but my emotions have not yet processed it. I want to use this time to gather as much information as possible and make an informed decision. I know I sound methodical and perhaps insensitive, but right now I feel that the emotions I should be feeling knowing my wife is cheating on me are simply not there. And for now, that protects me from the harsh reality of the situation. Before I fully feel the weight of her betrayal and become emotionally vulnerable, I want to ask those who have been in my place. How did you decide to stay or leave your unfaithful partner? For context, I am 32 years old. She is 30, and we do not have children. Update 2. I have been holding steady since I found out last week, but this morning I finally broke down. What triggered it was something insignificant, even stupid. I was sitting in my home office checking emails, and, before she left for work, she brought me a cup of coffee, wished me a good day, and gave me a kiss. That is when I realized everything I was about to lose, and that was the trigger. All the emotions I had managed to contain hit me at once. The sadness, the anger, the pain. I cried for hours after she left. I thought about the life we had built over these 12 years. I do not know if I will ever get a satisfactory explanation of how she could do this to me. I continue to track their movements and their conversations through the iPad, which have not stopped. They saw each other yesterday. Initially, they were going to go to a motel, but he ended up going to her house when his wife had to make an urgent trip to care for her sick mother. They make me sick. I am so angry with her, with both of them. Not only do I have to deal with losing her, I am also losing a close friend. This man stood by my side on our wedding day, when we exchanged vows, and he was with me when I buried my parents. 12 years thrown away because they could not control themselves. Edit. Please, do not tell me I have to leave her. I will. I still have several consultations with different lawyers before deciding on one and starting the divorce process. I just needed to write this for a group of strangers, because this is incredibly difficult, and I feel like the weight of this burden is going to crush me. I lost my parents 2 years ago, and now I am about to lose the only family I have left. I am not okay. No. Rather, I am pretty damn depressed, and to top it all off, I have to keep my composure and keep pretending until the divorce papers arrive, when all I want to do is scream. Update 3. I found her iPad. It did not have a password, so I was able to get in, and it is still connected to her phone. It has the Telegram app. They have been chatting on there. I am still going through the messages, but it is a fact. She is cheating on me. I have not broken down yet. I am trying to keep my composure to make the right decision without messing everything up. What do? Do I confront her when she gets home? Do I go to his house and confront him? Please, help me. Edit 1. Thank you all for your advice. I have not said anything to her. I locked myself in my home office under the pretext that I need to catch up on work. She does not suspect a thing. I kept the iPad. She has not used it in so long that she will not even notice it is missing. I also took pictures of all their messages with my phone as a security measure. From what I have been able to see, they have been chatting for at least 8 months. Telegram is their main channel of communication. They have sent naked pictures, hot messages, and are making plans to make their relationship official once they both leave me and his wife. I cannot believe she did this to me. From the messages, I saw that she sent him a suggestive picture on her way to the gym this very afternoon. And when she came home, she started kissing me, trying to have relations. I refused, saying I needed to work. I am confused right now and cannot think clearly, so I will follow the advice I have been given. Lawyer, gather evidence. I will work on that. I also saw several comments recommending that I separate my finances from hers. We co-own the apartment we live in, and we have joint bank accounts. My parents died in a car accident 2 years ago and left me a large inheritance which she is aware of. She does not have access to that fund. Is there anything I should do to protect myself if we get to that point? We do not have children yet. Edit 2. I sometimes work from home, and this morning I had no meetings, so I spent it researching and calling lawyers. I have 2 consultations scheduled for tomorrow, but most did not have appointments available until next week. I will tell his wife everything and show her the evidence as soon as I choose a lawyer and make sure I am protected first. Once she is informed, I will give her time to sort out her affairs and get a lawyer, if she wishes, before deciding what to do next, like confronting my wife. I do not understand how I feel. For some reason, I am not angry. Rather, I feel numb, with nausea every time I think about the messages I read, especially the intimate ones. I feel like I am just doing what I have to do right now, but it is as if I am living someone else's life. I do not know how long I can keep this poker face without her noticing something is wrong. Thank you for your messages and support. Edit TR. Friends, I am overwhelmed by all the messages and advice I have received. Not much has happened since yesterday. I have kept myself busy with work and the gym. The anniversary of my parents' death is coming up in a month, and she obviously knows it. So, when she asked me why I was acting strange, I just told her I was thinking about them. I have several consultations with lawyers scheduled. Most are next week, but I have a few this afternoon. I will update when I have chosen one and know what my options are. Edit 4. I found an incredible lawyer who managed to draft the divorce papers in a matter of days, which were filed this morning. I am in a no-fault divorce state, which means that all the evidence of infidelity I gathered cannot be used in court. The good news is that my inheritance is protected because I did not use that money for marital expenses. Our apartment was a wedding gift purchased by both sets of parents. Each side contributed 50% for the down payment. So one of us will have to buy out the other's share, or we will sell the place. I called his wife on Saturday and asked her to meet for coffee. I chose that day because, ironically, her husband and my wife had gone on an overnight trip together. I knew this from the messages on the iPad. The lies they told were, my wife was going to stay the weekend at her sister's house to help with the kids while her brother-in-law was away on a work trip, and her husband was leaving for a work project. The truth was that my wife and her husband had gone to another city together and stayed in a hotel paid for by him. I showed her the messages they had on Telegram, including photos, everything. She told me she had noticed he was distant and withdrawn for a few months. She thought it was work stress and had no reason to suspect he was being unfaithful. Finding out that her husband was cheating on her, and with my wife, who was also her friend, was a huge blow. We talked a little more, and I gave her my lawyer's number so she could consider her options. On Sunday night, my wife came back from her sister's house. She walked through the door and greeted me with kisses, saying she had missed me. After spending the weekend with her lover, her ability to compartmentalize is almost diabolical. I sat her down and told her we needed to talk. I recorded the entire conversation without her knowledge, following the lawyer's advice. I live in a one-party consent state for recording. This is how it happened. I asked her to promise me she would be honest with me. "Of course, love," she said, although she was noticeably nervous. Then I asked her a series of questions. "Do you love me?" "Yes." "Are you happy with me?" "Yes, of course, love." "Have I been a good husband to you?" "Do I treat you well?" "Yes, yes." "Have I ever hurt you, either physically or emotionally?" "No, of course not." "So, if you are happy with me, why are you cheating on me?" She looked at me in shock for a good minute, and then immediately started denying it. This went on for a while until I told her to stop acting because I already knew the truth. She finally broke down and admitted to kissing a guy who had been flirting with her at a bar during a girls' night out a few months ago. I do not know why, but at that moment I started laughing because it was all so absurd. Not only did she cheat on me, but she took every possible opportunity to do so. I asked her if that was the only time she cheated on me. She swore over and over that it was just that one kiss, a moment of weakness, that she was drunk and it meant nothing. I did not say anything else. I handed her my lawyer's card and told her I had started the divorce process. I had not done it yet. I just wanted to talk to her one more time to see if there was anything worth fighting for in our marriage. I told her that if she wanted to communicate with me, she should do it through my lawyer. She cried, begged, apologized, and then, when I started packing my bag, she completely changed and started gaslighting me, telling me I was throwing away everything we had over one mistake. But the worst thing she said was, "I have no one else in the world. Why would I leave the only family I have left?" That hurt because I had told her that she was my only family after my parents died, that I had no one else to rely on, and now she was throwing my own words back in my face. That night, I went to a hotel where I am staying until I find a new apartment. Yesterday, I officially filed the divorce papers. Update 4. Some updates since the last time I wrote. My wife was served with the divorce papers last week. I am still at the hotel and am close to getting a new apartment. When I left last week, I forgot to take the iPad. I picked it up when I went back a few days later to get clothes and other things. Apparently, my wife had a fight with the friend who was with her at the bar, accusing her of telling me about the kiss with the handsome guy. It seems her friend is no longer talking to her. After everything exploded, the other wife, OBS for its acronym in English, kicked her husband out of the house, and he has been staying at his sister's house. She and I have been talking. She found a lawyer and is filing for her own divorce. She has informed the few friends we had in common about what is happening, and they have all cut contact with them. Also, the scumbag went to my old house and spent the night with my wife twice last week. I have also seen messages between her and her sister, who it turns out knew about the affair. My wife apparently already found a lawyer and was complaining to her sister that the lawyer explained the division of assets and confirmed that she has no right to my inheritance, which she considered unfair. And here comes the low blow. All those conversations they had about moving in together and making their relationship official have cooled down significantly since my wife spoke to her lawyer. I found it strange. A few days ago, she sent me a message asking me to put a pause on the divorce process. She said she loves me, that we are being irrational about this, and that everyone deserves a second chance. She even dropped the typical, "I cannot live without you." If I did not have the iPad, I might have thought she was being sincere. But knowing what she has been doing all week, I knew that message came only after she realized there will not be a single penny of my inheritance. And honestly, that hurt me. I am following my lawyer's advice, who told me not to respond. The more I think about it, the more disgusted I am with her, my friend, and her sister. The fact that her change of heart seems to be solely due to the discovery that she will not be able to touch my inheritance seems deeply disturbing to me. I always intended to use that money for a trust fund if we were to have children, something I repeated to her many times. I never touched it because it reminded me of the trauma of losing my parents. The level of disrespect she has shown not only to me, but also to my parents, who loved her and treated her like a daughter. It comforts me that they are no longer alive to see this. I met with the other wife over the weekend. She is also my friend and has been going through a very difficult time, especially with her mother's health problems on top of this whole mess. I told her about the messages. In short, she had been reconsidering divorce, as her husband tried to reconcile with her. But once I showed her the messages about my inheritance and pointed out how their communication had cooled down since then, she changed her mind. She also shared something with me that left me shocked. Apparently, a few months after my parents' death, her husband made a comment about how I was a lucky son of a bitch for inheriting that money. She confronted him at the time, shocked that he could call me lucky after I lost my parents. And he backtracked, saying he did not mean it. At the time she let it go, but now she is starting to question his true intentions. It may sound exaggerated, but it is all starting to seem like she thought she was going to get something after divorcing me and starting a new life with him. Whatever the case, her behavior is despicable. I have been trying to take care of myself. I started therapy. I go to the gym almost obsessively and try to stay away from alcohol. I am doing everything I can to project a strong image. Some of my friends have said it is scary how cold I have become, but it is the only way to get through the day without losing my mind. The nights are especially hard. I have trouble sleeping. Sometimes I drink to be able to fall asleep. I am not proud of it, and sometimes I cry myself to sleep. Update 5. Today marks 2 years since I lost my parents in a car accident. That was when I learned how fragile and unfair life can be. One minute your loved ones are there, and the next, they are not. I clung with all my might to my only remaining family, my wife. I leaned on my friends, especially my best friend, who supported me. What I never expected was to find myself in this situation on the 2nd anniversary of their death, taking stock of the people I have lost. Today I have 2 fewer parents, 1 fewer wife, and 1 fewer best friend. I have never felt so alone. I have never felt so broken. Update 6. I punched my wife's lover. It was not planned. I have been trying to stay calm, but he just had to come see me and apologize. Leaving the office today, I was walking to my car and I saw him parked nearby. When I approached, he got out of his car and came towards me, asking to talk. I told him to get back in his car and get lost, that I was not interested in hearing anything. The nerve of the guy, he just stood there, blocking my car, apologizing for what he had done. He said it just happened, that neither he nor my wife did it with bad intentions, that they did not want to hurt me, that he wished we could get over this and be civil. I told him to move, but he ignored me and kept talking. I lost control. I grabbed him by the shirt, pushed him, and then punched him. He stumbled and fell. I know I hurt him because his nose was bleeding. It took all my self-control not to keep hitting him. Instead, I got in my car and went home. Hours have passed since then, and at first, I felt overwhelmed. It felt good to hurt him, and I wanted to do more, but now I feel like a piece of shit for losing control. Part of me is worried about the possible consequences, like him pressing charges, but I could not help it. The rage had been building since Saturday night, when I was with friends at the bar we all used to go to together, my ex-wife, and we ran into them there together. They were clearly embarrassed to be seen in public and did not get out of there fast enough. Fortunately, my friends pulled me away before the situation escalated, but I was already very angry about all this. So, when he showed up today in front of my workplace, I lost control. Update 7. My ex-wife told me she was pregnant. This news took me completely by surprise, as there were no messages about a pregnancy on the iPad. She has always had irregular menstrual cycles and said she did not notice if she had missed her period last month. She sent me an image of her ultrasound that she had this week, indicating she was 7 weeks pregnant. She said she took a pregnancy test a while ago. She is not sure when, which was positive, but she wanted to wait for the ultrasound to know how many weeks she was before telling me anything. I have not had relations with her since October 11th. Exactly. She says she really feels the baby is mine, whatever that means, and she is hopeful that this is our chance to start over together. She even told her family at Thanksgiving dinner yesterday. She does not get along with her parents, so our contact with them has been minimal. But today, both they and her sister have sent me messages to congratulate me. I do not love this woman anymore, and I do not want to be with her. I do not even know if that baby is mine, given that she has been sleeping with another man for the last 10 months. She was supposed to be on birth control. We were not trying to have a child. I was planning a clean break with her, and now, if that child is mine, I will be dragged back into her life. But right now I do not know if she is trying to manipulate me into getting back with me. I do not know why she would want that. If she clearly wanted to be with her lover, or if this is part of some plan to get financial support. I do not know if it is mine, but I will be there for my baby, and I will make sure he has the best life possible. I am even considering stopping the divorce process and getting back with her, not for her, but for the sake of the baby. My child deserves to have both parents in his life, and I refuse to let her lover be a part of my child's life. I have not told my lawyer this yet, and I am going to ask her for a paternity test to confirm if the baby is mine. I feel completely lost. I hope everyone else's Thanksgiving was better than mine. Update 8. My ex-wife wrote to me today to tell me she had a miscarriage. Honestly, at this point, I do not even know if she was ever really pregnant or if she was trying to manipulate me into getting back together. She blamed me for the stress I caused her by requesting the paternity test and also blamed her lover, who accused her of trying to get back with me for my money. Basically, I found out from friends that she and her lover had a huge fight because she tried to distance herself from him and insisted that the baby was mine. This led to him exposing her, saying that she only wanted to be with me and for the baby to be mine for money, because if I took her back, I would have to pay her medical expenses, child support, and finance the lifestyle she had grown accustomed to. I never responded to her previous messages in which she tried to manipulate me into taking responsibility for the baby. She had been sending me updates about our baby, which she got from a pregnancy app she is subscribed to. I know it sounds terrible, but a part of me believes she was never pregnant and that she had to abandon the lie when she realized I was very serious about the paternity test. Either way, the show is over. I was extremely worried about being tied to this woman for another 18 years, so I am glad I am not. But also, surprisingly, I am a little sad about not having a child. I hope that someday, when the right person comes along, I can experience fatherhood with her.